So now we're going to talk about the actual art of being a freelancer. So here's what we're going to do. This is one of the freelance websites that I really like. It's called Fiverr with two R's. There are two other websites you can do. You can do freelancer.com or you can do upwork.com, UPWORK. But this is a good one to start on. So how customers will find you is they will search for, let's say, Python developer. And then the customer will find you. Let's say your name is Manoj Nilanga. And then they will click on you and they'll say, oh, starting at $100 is pretty good. Develop desktop applications. And they will click on your profile. They will look at your prices. And they will look at how many stars you have, how many people have given you good ratings. This is why good ratings is really important. You want to make sure your customer is happy. And then they will click on continue. And what they will do is they will pay first. They will upload money to Fiverr, and Fiverr will hold that money until the job is completed. And then after the job is completed, they will release that money to you. Sometimes it takes a long time. It takes like 2 weeks. So I'm going to show you my profile real quick. This is what my profile looks like. So these are my active gigs: create AI software, provide business AI, tutor you. And so people can come here and they can click on that. And then there is a description, says what I can do. And on some of these, I have a video talking about what I can do and myself and my packages. So what I would recommend doing is when you start out, I would recommend charging $25 an hour. As of it's July 2021, I'd recommend charging $25 an hour if you're just starting out, because you're cheaper, so you can make more mistakes and they can't complain. So when you are setting these up, you want to have a snazzy image. Sometimes you want to have a video. Sometimes they'll let you do a video. See, here I've got a little video right here showing me talking about my AI stuff. I'm going to play that video for you.
Hi, I'm Tyler. I am an artificial intelligence specialist. If you want to learn more about AI and machine learning and you have no idea where to start, talk to me. I will take you from knowing absolutely nothing to being an expert in more advanced topics like deep learning. So shoot me a message and we can get started on this next really exciting part of your new life.
Okay, so that is a video that you could do something like that. You can talk about your past, or if you don't have experience, what you can do is you can talk about the things that you have experience with, and then just sort of sell your program. Say why people would want to work for you. You could say, I will give you high quality code doing exactly what you want. Then people will click on continue and they will hire you. Okay, so what to do when somebody hires you. Oh, actually, I should mention, it is really, really important that you use correct spelling. You need to use perfect spelling, and grammar is important too. And if you don't have experience with perfect spelling and grammar, there's a website called Grammarly.com, and it's an app that can help you. Add to Firefox, it's free. So the theory is, if you can't spell, then you probably won't be able to deliver really good code. At least that's how customers think. I mean, that's not real. That's not reality, but customers think that way. If they see that you have misspellings or grammar errors in your profile, then they probably will not hire you. Okay, so let's say that a customer finds your profile and they say, I need some coding work done. So then they message you. So then you go to messages and then people will message you and it'll say, okay, so this person sent you a message. So when somebody sends you a message, they will say, hello, I need this. I'm gonna do just a fake conversation right now. So you'll get something like this. They will say, hello, I need a Python program. Okay, so as a freelancer, the absolute worst thing that you can do is say, okay, yes, pay me. That is the worst possible thing that you can do. They want to know that you know what you're talking about, and this gives them no information. It says what you want, but it does not tell them that you can give them what they want. So how I like to respond is if somebody says they need a Python program, I ask questions. I say, hello, what kind of Python program? And just ask for more and more details. And then, they would respond and they would say, I need to scrape web. Excuse me. I need to scrape web data. And then I would say, okay, what website do you need to scrape data from? How much data do you think you will need? So don't just jump in and say, yes, I can do that. Don't just immediately say, when they say, hello, I need a Python program, don't just immediately say, yes, I can do that. Ask them questions that show you know what you're talking about. And I do this and I usually get the gig. They've got a lot of people that they're talking to and they want to work with me because I ask really good questions. I don't just say, yes, I can do that, because I could be lying. I ask good questions that they respond to. And then sometimes as they're answering my questions, they get a better idea of what they need. And then they work with me because I have a better idea of what they need. Okay, so when the customer messages you, they say, hello, I need a Python program. Ask questions, ask a bunch of questions to figure out exactly what you think they need. And then be honest. If you think you can do it, tell them. If you don't think you can do it, sometimes you can refer them to somebody else. And then, they'll be happy and the other person will be happy. So then let's say that you get a job. Somebody says, okay, I need you to do a Python program. And it is a Python program that you know how to write. And you say, okay, I can do that. So they put up the money and you start working. So after you write the code and you deliver it, there's something else that's really important that you need to do. And a very, very wealthy man taught me how to do this. He said the best marketing you can do is always give the customer more than they paid for. So when I do tutoring, I charge by the hour. I charge somebody $100 an hour, but then I give them 20 minutes extra every single time because of this marketing idea. Always give the customer more than they paid for. So if your customer says, I need a Python script to scrape this one web page, then give them that Python script. You gave them exactly what they paid for, but then also give them something extra. Don't tell them about it beforehand, but after they pay you, give them something extra. Say, maybe give them another script to scrape another similar website. So you deliver to them script for scraping website 1. And then as an extra, you also give them the script for scraping website 2. And if you look at my website, my Fiverr page, I have a lot of really, really positive 5-star reviews. And the reason why is I always give them more than they paid for. We agree on a price. We say, okay, this price is fair. And then I give them a little bit more than we agreed to. And people are always very, very grateful when you do that. So just a couple of small tips. Most of the time, people are very honest and, they are willing to pay. But there will be some people who don't want to pay and who want to get something from you. Don't ever do that. Do not ever work for free. Do not ever work for less than you normally charge, because you have skills that other people need. Other people don't want to take the time to learn what you have taken the time to learn, and you deserve to be paid for what you're doing. So there will be people who will try to be nice to you, who will try to scam you, but make sure that they upload money before you do any work for them. Make sure that the money is in Fiverr. If they want to do a consultation with you, if they want to call you, that's fine, but tell them that you can only do it for free for 15 minutes. Okay? If they want to do consulting for any longer than that, you need to charge them. And you may feel, oh, who am I? I'm just a person from this poor country. I don't have any money. If you have skills, you can charge money for it. So as I said, it would be a good idea to start out at $25 per hour. And when you do a project, do an honest estimate. Say, I think this project will take 4 hours, and then so you would charge them $100. You say, I think this project's going to take me 4 hours, and then charge them $100. And don't charge them more than you estimated, especially when you're starting out. So you want to change your price only when you are getting too much business, only when you cannot afford to stay at this price. So for instance, for me, I started out at $25, and I had to change my price up because I couldn't, I was getting too many messages. I was getting 30 or 40 messages per week when I was charging $25. And so to reduce the number of messages I was getting, I upped my rate to $50. And then when that became too low, I, upped it to 85 an hour, and then now 100 an hour. And that's a balance that I like because, when people see that $100 an hour, they say, okay, this guy's really quality, but he's expensive. So then I don't have, dozens and dozens of people emailing me every week at this price. So start out at a low price. And then when you get a lot of reviews, when you get a lot of people, um, commenting and saying that you're really good and you don't have enough time to work at 25, then reduce the number of people who are contacting you by increasing your price. So there's an inverse relationship. Like if you have a high price, fewer people will contact you. If you have a low price, more people will contact you. So you'll need to find your best price for you. Actually, Fiverr is great because you can change your price at any time. Like I could go in here and edit my gig and then change my price back to 25, and I would have my inbox full again. Um, so that is pretty much it. So as you are working online as a freelancer, just keep in mind to ask questions. That's how you make the sale. You make the gig by asking questions and using good language, using good English. And then you keep the clients by giving them more than they paid for. And so there's a marketing principle that it costs 10 times more to make a new customer than it does to keep an existing customer. So to get a new customer, it's very difficult because they have to find you through the internet from all the millions of other freelancers. So once you have that customer, you want to keep them coming back. So the best way to do that is by giving them more than they paid for. So I have a lot of my customers are repeat customers, and the reason is I always give them more than they paid for. Okay, so this is how you make money freelancing.